Hello, I'm Brigantia Blackbird, a Blackbird's Brew. Happy Tuesday and welcome to Modern Problems, Pagan Solutions. We're going to be talking about why we need heroes. And just consider this. Why did our ancestors tell and retell stories about gods and ancient heroes? Now, instinctively, we know it was more than just mere entertainment, although there is no denying that the stories can be quite absorbing. But what gave stories additional purpose is their capacity to inspire and to provide a lens through which we can see the world and have something concrete to strive for. We need the heroic as much as we need food, clothing, and shelter. Human existence is not merely a matter of maintaining the corporeal. We are more than meat and matter. We are our minds, our hearts, and our spirits, all of which require the heroic to look up to and to learn from and to emulate. Now, in story, the challenges that the hero or the protagonist endures and overcomes, they're often larger than life. And the audience, if the story and the performance is good, they find themselves empathizing and even identifying with the hero, wanting to encourage the hero to go on and to win. And that win at the end of the story is incredibly uplifting. And it's a powerful reminder that sometimes things do work out even after going through a really tricky wicket. The more that win is earned, the better it feels for the audience. And in real life, people who have had everything but the kitchen sink thrown at them, and then they still manage to make a success of their circumstances, that has a way of putting our own troubles into perspective. It makes the impossibilities of our life seem possible, and oftentimes they are. And that can be a source of comfort because, after all, if that person came through it all, then that means there's hope for ourselves to do the same. That's one of the many reasons why the modern social attack on the heroic and this pathological need that some people have to tarnish all heroes is so troubling. There's a push to tear down the very thing that feeds the human soul and inspires us to strive. It's not just the constant foretellings of doom that drag us down, although they certainly do, but it's that narrative that tries to convince us that doom is the only thing that is possible to exist. So, is it any wonder that there's such a mental health crisis and a rise in self destructive behaviors and choices and such a tragic suicide rate? When that's the environment we're in and those are the ideas being pushed, it can only unfold in the direction of failure. What is there to make people attempt to improve themselves and their lives when the loudest voices around them are preaching to give up, to shut up, and to stop living altogether? All the ideologies that have that net result are by definition counter to pagan values. As much as we accept the inevitability of death and its place in the natural order and cycle things, we do not strive to reach the grave prematurely or to suffer a death of the spirit long before our bodies give out. The whole focus and point of pagan spirituality is that full embrace of life and the world, seeing how the spiritual and the material realms are interwoven and indivisible, and making the most of whatever point in the cycle that we're at. We don't want to cease to exist. We want to explode with life. And you can see that in our lore, which focuses so much on the heroic, because the heroes, even when they face death, even when they know death is coming, they are still acting in the interest of life. And of course, it's not enough to merely survive, is it? Once the basics are covered, we long for achievement and the comfort and the rewards that follow from that achievement. And while we may not be out slaying dragons and engaging in large battles, we still need to cultivate that heroic spirit so that we can stay focused on creation and accomplishment. Without having a good example to admire and look up to and take lessons from, it can be more difficult for us to jumpstart our own engine of motivation, particularly if you don't have a temperament to do so. So, what I would like to do is to challenge everyone listening to look at their favorite stories and what their favorite characters in those stories really represent. There's nothing wrong with us taking inspiration anywhere we can find it, whether it's from our own mythology or from the entertainment industry, which, despite its best efforts, still manages to create something worthwhile every now and again. The source of it doesn't really matter. What matters is taking the heroic to heart and allowing that to be the encouragement that we need to evolve as people. That's what counts in the end. So, who are your heroes? What inspires you to tackle life with gusto? What motivates you to transform your dreams into reality? Whatever the answers to those questions are, that is what you need more of in your life, and that is what's worth pursuing. So let's reject the depressing trend of utter renunciation and despair. Let's embrace the heroic and then watch life change around us. That's what I've got for you this Tuesday. Let me know your own thoughts in the comments section below, or come pay me and the rest of the gang a visit at Blackbird's Brew on Gilded. If you're interested in being part of the groups, there's a link in the description box to join us. Click on it. It'll take you right to us. There is a brief, form to fill out. That's just our way of, making sure that people who have ill intent, they at least would have to go to the trouble of filling out the form before knowing their true colors. As with all things, the safeguard isn't as big as what you might think, but it does serve some purpose and turning away some of the troublemakers and riffraff. But just fill that out. I've only ever rejected one application, and I had pretty good reason to do so. So you are very welcome to be among us, and well, we hope to see you soon. But I think that'll do it for this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.